Welcome to LawHelp Australia, where we keep you safe and informed with tips and updates. My name is Dinesh Weerakkody. The discussion today is about family law, family violence, and in particular immigration law. We have a panel consisting legal practitioners. Let me introduce you to our panel today. And Vincent, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
My name is Vincent Shin. I am a junior lawyer at D&M Lawyers. I am in my first year of practice.
All right.
My name is Sulaika Dhanapala. I am the principal at D&M Lawyers. I was first admitted to practice in Sri Lanka in 1985. 6 months thereafter, I migrated to Australia and started my career as a law lecturer first, and since 2001 I have been practicing as a lawyer, and from 2002 as a migration agent.
Right, so you have been practicing as a migration lawyer for quite a long time.
You could say that.
Yes. And Emily, tell us a bit about yourself.
Thanks, Dinesh. My name's Emily Tung. I'm a solicitor at DLegal, where we practice in a range of areas: property, criminal and traffic matters, and immigration.
All right, thank you. We have had discussions about family violence in the past, but we have not discussed about family violence and immigration law, how it affects recent migrants. But let us again talk about family violence, just to understand the nature of it. What is family violence? Vincent, may I ask you?
Family violence can be defined quite broadly as financial abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, or mental abuse, and also physical abuse.
So it captures broad range of situations where the other person can be considered as a victim of violence.
Yes, okay. It is quite broad, the definition of family violence.
All right. And Emily, what is your experience in relation to clients and family violence in the immigration scenario with recent migrants?
Well, Dinesh, there's a number of options. Most people, immigrants or Australians, whoever's experienced family violence, could report to police, often or other professionals. Often that will lead to something like an intervention order. They also may look at leaving the home, reporting to other professionals and seeking counselling, and trying to figure out ways to assist them in their situation, and even ways to deal with their partner or spouse who is inflicting that abuse on them.
That is an important point in relation to partners, how to deal with it now. Sulaika, before I start asking this question, but I will still go ahead and ask, it's not the case in relation to recent migrants that they want to report to police these instances. They want to keep the marriage and try to work it out, and they are, so in a way, in a situation or forced to be in that situation for some time in family violence situations. But before you answer, can I ask a question from Vincent?
Yes.
Since Emily raised this question, when they go to court, can there be any immediate remedies from the court or from the police? What can someone do to stop immediate violence against that person?
Yes, when somebody makes an application to the Magistrates Court for an intervention order, they can also ask for an interim order, which protects the person on the day, immediately.
All right, so that's an immediate protection.
Yes.
So that's a process where a recent migrant has to go to courts. Can they go to police? Can they dial 000 and get help? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, definitely. There's another method of the intervention orders being taken out under Part 3 of the Family Violence Protection Act. The police actually have the power to take out intervention orders. They're called safety notices. This is when they attend an incident of family violence, and they can therefore make an application for an intervention order.
All right. Emily, tell us a little bit more about this intervention order or safety notices. What will happen when someone is given an intervention order?
Well, an intervention order will set out certain conditions. For example, they cannot go within a certain distance of that person or their home. They could also engage in counselling with that person, but again, these conditions depend on the circumstances of the case.
All right. Can someone ask the conditions to certain conditions to put in the order and certain conditions not, because the intention of the persons would be to be in the marriage, to continue the marriage? Is that possible to request the conditions or vary or change?
Yes, certainly. At times when the police take out an intervention order, sometimes in instances where there is family violence and the parties want to stay in the relationship.
Purpose of maintaining the relationship.
So when parties attend the first hearing, they're able to negotiate with each other through lawyers the conditions, and so at times people can remove certain conditions and only keep maybe the conditions of prohibiting family violence and damaging property, for instance. So they are able to still live in the one home and still be protected.
Just to highlight, so a family violence intervention order can be obtained to prevent someone committing violence, not necessarily in all times to go out of the house. If the situation is dangerous, an order could be made for the perpetrator not to cite or stay at the home, but it is also possible to give an order not to commit family violence in the same house. So that gives some sort of a protection